Amber Heard was back on the stand Monday, continuing her testimony in the high-profile defamation trial between her and her ex-husband, Johnny Depp. After more than a week off from the trial, Heard's legal team is expected to continue direct examination of the Aquaman actress before Depp's lawyers begin their cross-examination. Closing arguments are set for May 27. Depp, 58, is suing Heard, 36, for $50 million over a 2018 op-ed she wrote for The Washington Post. In the piece, she wrote about surviving domestic abuse, without identifying her alleged abuser by name. In response, Heard has filed a $100 million countersuit against Depp. The former couple, who were married from 2015 to 2017 but met when Depp cast Heard in the 2011 film, The Rum Diary, have lobbed abuse claims at each other during their individual testimonies in the Fairfax, Virginia, courthouse. In their respective depositions, Depp alleged that he is the victim of domestic violence. Among his many claims, he alleged Heard threw a liquor bottle at him, severing a finger on his right hand, and that Heard's allegations against him resulted in his firing from the Pirates of the Caribbean, a franchise. Heard alleged on the stand that Depp physically abused her on multiple occasions and that she was sexually assaulted when, she says, he penetrated her with a bottle. She also claimed she was subject to repeated verbal abuse throughout their relationship and tried to leave him several times. Both deny each other's claims of abuse. In a statement obtained by ABC News, Depp's spokesperson called Heard's testimony the performance of her life and promised that their cross-examination will certainly highlight the many fallacies Ms. Heard has now attempted to pass off as fact. Heard's team issued a statement of its own, also obtained by ABC News, with her spokesperson saying in response, "One of Ms. Heard's disappointments is Mr. Depp's inability to distinguish fact from fiction. Many are anticipating the calling of supermodel Kate Moss as a surprise witness in the case, after Heard previously named her during her testimony." Heard, when recalling a time she alleges she fought back against Depp during an altercation, referred to a rumor that Depp pushed Moss down the stairs during their relationship in the 1990s. Depp's attorney was seen smiling and fist-pumping after Moss' name was said. Heard's testimony begins the morning of May 16. The courtroom drama continued Monday after a week-long break. Under testimony from her own attorney, Heard characterized her role in the marriage as trying to temper Depp, whose alleged abuse she claims created unpredictable and dangerous behavior that affected them both. Explaining why she chose to remain in the marriage despite the abuse, Heard said it felt easier to take accountability for it than accept the senseless nature of the abuse. In her testimony Monday, Heard said the first act of violence from Depp toward her occurred in early 2012. She claimed that she previously shared an incorrect date for when Depp was first violent toward her because she wanted to forget that period. But, she said, you never forget the first time. Heard claimed the police were called many times throughout their relationship, and discussed looking at her therapist notes to determine the instances of physical violence that she claims occurred. When asked why she didn't just remember the instances, she claimed that their relationship was violent and chaotic, while also loving and emotional, so she said the violence was almost normal. She claimed throughout their relationship she dealt with different versions of Depp and the two had a safe word, couch, to use during fights. She claimed divorce was discussed in their relationship many times. Evidence of bruises presented in court. Heard's lawyers shared photos from the April 2015 premiere of her film, One More Time in New York, which she said show scars on her arm from when the pair allegedly got into a fight in Australia a month earlier. Additional photos of Heard on the red carpet for Magic Mike XXL in July 2015 were shown, with her claiming, "You can see the scars on my body, my arms." She discussed going back to Australia in early 2015 when she claimed Depp had gotten sober for a period of time. She said the two were in a better place, even discussing babies, and said Depp had done a complete 180 and was sober. Heard recalled a train trip she and Depp took in July 2015, claiming she and Depp got into an argument the final night of their train trip because she claimed Depp wanted to be allowed to drink liquor and for her to be okay with it. She claimed Depp slapped her across her face and held her against the wall of their sleeper car by the neck for what felt like a very long time, slamming her against the wall multiple times. "I remember thinking he could not even mean to kill me," she said. "I remember being scared that he wouldn't even mean to do it." Heard claimed Depp ripped part of her shirt off, exposing her breast, and, when she grabbed at his shirt, he took it off and wrapped it around her neck. Heard claimed she woke up the next morning with Depp's shirt still around her neck and a giant knot on the back of her head. Depp's security guard, Malcolm Connolly, testified that Depp sustained a black eye on this train trip because Heard hit him, but Heard testified that she has multiple pictures of Depp from the train trip and he's uninjured. In one video played to jurors, Depp is seen swinging open kitchen cabinets to search for a wine glass while Heard questions him about his wine intake. Once Depp sees Heard is secretly videoing him, a struggle ensues. Heard explained she frequently recorded her husband because I knew he wouldn't remember his behavior. She claimed Depp's substance use started again in August 2015 and their disagreements began again. She said she was considering a role that involved brief nudity, which she said she knew Depp would not like. She spoke about a previous film she shot, London Fields, that she said Depp was unhappy with, as she said Depp heard she did a sex scene in the film that she did not tell him about. She claimed that she did not do the sex scene. She said they used a body double for the sex scene in the film without her knowledge. The two watched a screening of the film together and she relayed that to Depp. However, she said he was irate while they watched together, and she claimed that Depp believed she lied to him about the scene. She said a week of hell ensued from the screening and described multiple acts of physical violence from Depp to and another pivotal moment. From Monday morning, a now infamous audio recording was played in which Depp can be heard claiming that Heard punched him in the face. In the recording, Heard claimed she hit him but did not attack him or punch him. In the recording, she can also be heard admitting to starting the physical fight with Depp. While discussing the recording on the stand, Heard said 2 altercations were discussed in the recording. In one incident, she said she was behind a door that Depp was trying to get past. She said the conversation in the recording was about the disparity between herself and Depp in their physical fights. She said when she mentioned hitting him in the recording, she was referring to how she claims Depp would proactively punch her and she would have to resort to reactively hitting him. I am talking about the difference between a punch, which Johnny did often, and me having to hit him in my defense, she said. I know the difference between those two and I'm highlighting the difference between those two, even if he wasn't twice my size. They're very different and that's what I'm pointing out to him. In one example, she described trying to wedge open a door to a bathroom after she said she thought she heard signs, glass breaking, a thud on the floor, that Depp had passed out. Depp, in retaliation, she said, angrily came up the side of the door swinging at her, forcing the door to crush her toes. During Depp's testimony, he claimed that he was trying to avoid a confrontation with Heard and was avoiding her to do so. He claimed that Heard was attempting to open a bathroom door while he was trying to close the door, and she suddenly yelped in pain. He claimed that while trying to see Heard's injury on her foot, she kicked the bathroom door into his head. He said that after asking her what had allegedly just occurred, she clocked him in the jaw, which he said was a shocker. He said in his testimony that shortly after the incident, Heard denied any violence from her toward Depp had occurred.